What if Queen Elizabeth's final will wasn't just about wealth and jewels, but a blueprint that could change the monarchy forever? When the document was finally read, it revealed shocking secrets, unexpected shifts in power, and deeply personal decisions that left the royal family reeling. Prince William, tasked with unveiling these revelations, faced a moment that would redefine his role and the future of the monarchy. What truths did the Queen take to her grave? Let's uncover them. The room was silent, yet the weight of anticipation was palpable. Buckingham Palace, the epicenter of British tradition, had become the setting for one of the most pivotal moments in modern royal history. Inside, members of the royal family gathered, their emotions ranging from curiosity to apprehension. Prince William stood at the forefront, entrusted with the monumental task of unveiling the Queen's final wishes, a moment both symbolic and deeply personal. As the will was carefully unsealed, the eyes of the royal family turned to William, whose every move now carried the burden of his grandmother's legacy. The Queen had always been a figure of composure and wisdom, her life defined by a deep sense of duty. Yet, this document hinted at complexities and revelations that no one had anticipated. For William, this wasn't just about reading a will, it was about stepping into a role that had been shaped for him long before he was born. As he prepared to speak, the weight of tradition collided with the uncertainty of the future. What would this moment reveal? Not just about the monarchy, but about the woman who had led it for over 7 decades. The opening words of the will were simple yet profound, immediately setting the tone for what was to follow. The Queen's intentions, meticulously detailed within, went far beyond wealth or possessions. Her decisions, William quickly realized, would challenge assumptions, disrupt conventions, and lay the groundwork for a monarchy that could either thrive in a modern world or crumble under the pressure of change. The will as a blueprint for the monarchy. The Queen's will wasn't just an inheritance, it was a roadmap. Beyond the traditional expectations of distributing assets, it carried a profound vision for the monarchy's survival in an ever-changing world. Each word reflected her meticulous planning, shaped by decades of experience and an acute awareness of public scrutiny. The document revealed a leader who was deeply invested in her family's future. This wasn't just about titles or wealth, it was about redefining roles, redistributing responsibilities, and ensuring that the monarchy adapted to the demands of a modern society. While previous monarchs might have clung to tradition, Queen Elizabeth's decisions demonstrated her willingness to embrace change, even at the cost of unsettling some of her closest family members. Prince William, as he read the details aloud, encountered surprising revelations. The will proposed a shift in the balance of power within the royal household, with younger royals like William and Catherine positioned to take on greater prominence. The Queen had recognized the importance of their modern appeal and sought to harness it for the monarchy's continued relevance. But this blueprint wasn't without its challenges. Some decisions seemed designed to address long-standing tensions within the family, while others hinted at an effort to repair the monarchy's image after years of scandal and controversy. The document was a masterclass in balancing tradition with innovation, but it also posed difficult questions. Would the Queen's vision unite the family and strengthen their collective mission? Or would it spark divisions that could jeopardize the very institution she sought to protect? One thing was clear: the monarchy's future now depended on how her wishes were interpreted and acted upon. As Prince William delved deeper into the will, the room's tension became palpable. The Queen's decisions weren't just about dividing assets. They exposed long-hidden secrets that would forever alter the royal family's dynamics. It wasn't simply the revelation of financial distributions, but an unveiling of her true vision for the monarchy's survival and evolution. One of the most startling discoveries involved the redistribution of power. Certain family members, long believed to be cornerstones of royal tradition, were notably left with far less than anticipated. This decision wasn't random. It reflected the Queen's desire to reward loyalty and dedication to the crown, while subtly sidelining those whose actions may have cast shadows on the royal legacy. The will also hinted at deeply personal family secrets that had been guarded for decades. While the specifics weren't spelled out, the implications were clear. The monarchy's future would require navigating these revelations carefully. Speculation erupted both within the room and beyond the palace walls. Did the Queen's decisions reflect long-held frustrations, or were they part of a larger strategy to protect the monarchy from internal divisions? These shocking revelations left the royal family reeling, each member silently contemplating how they fit into this new vision. For the public, these secrets added a layer of intrigue to an already complex institution. The Queen's choices weren't just personal, they were political, deliberate, and crafted to challenge traditional assumptions about what it meant to be royal. In that room, William recognized that the secrets hidden within this document weren't just a glimpse into the Queen's private thoughts, but a blueprint for managing the monarchy's narrative in a modern world. The stakes had never been higher, and the legacy of the crown was now more fragile than ever. One of the most shocking decisions in the Queen's will involved Balmoral Castle, the beloved Scottish retreat where she found solace and privacy. For generations, Balmoral had been a symbol of royal stability, a place that united the family. Yet the Queen's will revealed a surprising twist. Instead of granting it to a single family member, Balmoral was to be shared among multiple heirs. And this decision carried profound implications. Traditionally, properties like Balmoral were passed down as part of a seamless line of succession. By choosing a shared arrangement, the Queen signaled a departure from rigid tradition, favoring a more inclusive approach. For Prince William, who had long been expected to inherit Balmoral, this revelation was both a relief and a challenge. Sharing ownership required unprecedented collaboration, a test of the family's unity. But Balmoral wasn't the only property to spark controversy. The will also outlined plans for other estates, some of which were to remain part of the crown's holdings rather than becoming private family assets. This move suggested the Queen's intent to prioritize the monarchy's collective identity over individual enrichment, a decision that some family members reportedly found contentious. The redistribution of properties underscored the Queen's desire to modernize the monarchy's image. By ensuring that estates like Balmoral served as shared symbols of family and duty, she sought to reinforce the idea that the monarchy belonged to the people, not just a select few. As William read these details aloud, the room was filled with a mix of admiration and apprehension. The Queen's vision was clear. The monarchy's strength lay in unity and adaptability, but whether her family could rise to this challenge remained to be seen. The Queen's hidden fortune. As the will unfolded, it became evident that Queen Elizabeth's wealth went far beyond what the public had imagined. Her fortune, meticulously accumulated over decades, wasn't solely derived from her royal duties. Investments in real estate, art, and private ventures had quietly bolstered her financial standing, making her one of the wealthiest monarchs in history. One of the most intriguing revelations involved her personal art collection. Unlike the publicly held crown jewels, this private collection was amassed through years of careful curation. Featuring works by masters like Rembrandt and Vermeer, these pieces weren't just symbols of wealth. They were treasures of cultural and historical significance. The will specified which family members would inherit these artworks, a decision that surprised many. Rather than passing the collection entirely to the next monarch, the Queen opted for a more deliberate distribution, ensuring these items would be cherished by those she felt understood their significance. In addition to art, the Queen's investments in private properties and business ventures were revealed to be substantial. From sprawling estates to discreet financial holdings, her portfolio demonstrated an astute understanding of wealth preservation. Yet, the details of her financial allocations sparked debate. Some family members were generously rewarded, while others received only symbolic inheritances. The division of this wealth underscored a key theme: the Queen's commitment to balancing tradition with progress. Her choices reflected not only her personal values, but also her hopes for a sustainable monarchy. By ensuring that her fortune was distributed strategically, she aimed to secure the monarchy's stability while avoiding the pitfalls of unchecked privilege. For William, The revelations about the Queen's financial legacy added another layer of complexity to his role. It wasn't just about inheriting wealth, it was about safeguarding the values and vision his grandmother had entrusted to him. While the Queen's fortune and properties dominated headlines, it was the deeply personal items in her will that resonated most with the royal family. These were more than material possessions. They were symbols of her relationships, memories, and legacy. Each item carried a story, and the way they were distributed spoke volumes about the Queen's values and priorities. Among these treasures was her jewelry collection, which included iconic pieces like the Vladimir tiara and the coronation necklace. The will outlined a thoughtful and strategic distribution of these heirlooms. Some were allocated to Camilla, now Queen Consort, while others were designated for Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and even for William and Catherine's children. These decisions weren't merely sentimental, they reflected the Queen's vision for the monarchy's continuity and her trust in specific individuals to uphold its traditions. Beyond the jewels, there were personal letters, photographs, and family heirlooms that held immense sentimental value. These items were entrusted to family members who had shared intimate moments with the Queen, ensuring that her memory would live on through the connections they represented. Balmoral Castle, for instance, wasn't just a property. It was a place filled with memories of family gatherings and private retreats, and its shared inheritance symbolized the importance of unity. The distribution of these personal items also revealed the Queen's understanding of her family's dynamics. By thoughtfully allocating treasures, she avoided potential conflicts and ensured that each recipient felt valued. For William, inheriting certain pieces of jewelry and personal artifacts wasn't just an honor, it was a reminder of the deep bond he shared with his grandmother and the responsibilities he now carried. The personal touches in the will highlighted the Queen's humanity, showing that even as a monarch she valued love, connection, and family above all else. Among the many surprises in the Queen's will, her private art collection stood out as a testament to her love of history and culture. Unlike the publicly owned treasures in the Crown's collection, these works of art were her personal acquisitions, amassed over decades and kept largely out of public view. The collection included masterpieces by renowned artists such as Rembrandt and Vermeer, alongside rare historical artifacts, making it a treasure trove of cultural significance. What shocked many was how the Queen chose to distribute these priceless items. Instead of transferring the entire collection to her successor, she allocated specific pieces to different family members. William and Catherine received several paintings known for their historical and symbolic importance, while other items were entrusted to lesser-known members of the family. This decision reflected the Queen's belief in preserving the cultural legacy of the monarchy while allowing individual family members to share in its stewardship. The will also stipulated that select pieces would be loaned to public institutions, ensuring that the art would be accessible to the public and celebrated as part of the nation's heritage. This move demonstrated the Queen's awareness of her role as a custodian of history, emphasizing the monarchy's responsibility to the people. For Prince William, inheriting portions of this collection wasn't just an acknowledgement of his future role as king, it was a challenge to maintain and protect these cultural treasures. These artworks weren't merely possessions. They were fragments of history that carried the weight of centuries of tradition. The strategic distribution of the Queen's art collection exemplified her forward-thinking approach, blending her personal attachment to these pieces with her vision for a monarchy that valued transparency and shared responsibility. The Queen's vision for the future. Queen Elizabeth's will was not just a series of instructions, it was a declaration of her vision for the monarchy's future. Every decision within the document reflected her belief in evolution and adaptability as the keys to the institution's survival. Her choices weren't about clinging to the past, but about securing a legacy that would endure in an increasingly modern and scrutinized world. One of the most telling aspects of her vision was the deliberate empowerment of younger royals. The Queen recognized that figures like William and Catherine embodied the modern face of the monarchy. Their relatability, coupled with their dedication to causes like mental health and environmental conservation, had endeared them to the public. By allocating greater responsibilities and assets to them, The Queen signaled her confidence in their ability to carry the monarchy forward. At the same time, the will emphasized the importance of unity within the family. By redistributing properties like Balmoral and allocating sentimental items across multiple generations, the Queen sought to foster collaboration rather than competition. Her decisions reflected a desire to heal rifts and build a stronger, more cohesive royal household. But the painted will also made it clear that tradition still held value. Key symbols of the monarchy, such as specific jewelry pieces and royal estates, remained tied to their historical significance. The Queen's vision was one of balance, preserving the best of the past while paving the way for a dynamic, forward-thinking institution. For William, this vision was both inspiring and daunting. The Queen had entrusted him with the responsibility of carrying her legacy into a new era, ensuring that the monarchy remained relevant and respected. Her final wishes were not just about material assets. They were about shaping the future of the crown. Prince William's transformation. As Prince William read the Queen's will, it became clear that this moment would redefine his role within the monarchy. No longer just the heir to the throne, he was now a custodian of her legacy, entrusted with decisions that would shape the future of the royal family. The weight of this responsibility was profound, but it also signaled the Queen's trust in his ability to lead with strength, compassion, and modernity. The will detailed properties, heirlooms, and financial assets that would pass into William's care. Yet the inheritance was about more than material wealth. It was a symbolic passing of the torch, a clear acknowledgement of William's growing role as the face of the monarchy. The Queen's allocation of key items, including jewelry and personal artifacts, reflected her belief in his ability to uphold royal traditions while navigating the challenges of a rapidly changing world. William's role as a modern royal was further emphasized by the distribution of assets tied to causes he passionately supported. For instance, some of the Queen's private investments were earmarked for charitable initiatives focused on mental health and conservation, aligning with William's long-standing efforts in these areas. This alignment wasn't just practical, it was a deliberate attempt by the Queen to bolster William's public image as a progressive and relatable leader. But with this transformation came challenges. The Queen's decisions also carried the potential for family tensions, as not everyone received what they had expected. William now faced the delicate task of balancing his personal relationships with his duties to the crown. This moment marked a turning point, not just for William's role within the monarchy, but for the monarchy itself, as it sought to redefine its relevance in the 21st century. The Queen's decisions, while meticulously crafted, were not without controversy. As Prince William read through the will, it became apparent that some family members were left with far less than they had anticipated. The redistribution of properties and assets, though carefully calculated, sparked whispers of discontent among the royals. For a family steeped in tradition and hierarchy, these changes represented a dramatic shift in how roles and responsibilities were assigned. The Queen's decision to prioritize unity and modernization over individual privilege was evident, but it didn't sit well with everyone. Members of the family who had previously held prominent positions found themselves overshadowed by the younger generation. This wasn't just a matter of wealth, it was a shift in influence and status, one that would reshape internal family dynamics for years to come. The will's emphasis on shared ownership of key properties, such as Balmoral Castle, further fueled tensions. While the Queen had envisioned this as a way to foster collaboration, it also created logistical and emotional challenges. Would the family be able to navigate these shared responsibilities, or would old rivalries resurface, threatening the unity the Queen so desperately sought to preserve? For Prince William, the fallout was particularly personal. As the chosen reader of the will, he became the face of the Queen's final decisions. This put him in a delicate position, balancing his role as the future king with the need to maintain peace within his family. Publicly, the monarchy presented a united front, but behind closed doors, the cracks in their relationships began to show. The family fallout underscored the complexity of the Queen's legacy. Her decisions were bold and forward-thinking, but they also revealed the fragility of an institution built on tradition and hierarchy. The public's reaction to the Queen's will was as complex as the document itself. On one hand, there was admiration for her forward-thinking vision and meticulous planning. Her decisions reflected a modern monarch who understood the importance of adaptability and unity in a changing world. Yet the revelations also sparked debates about the monarchy's relevance and the role of tradition in a rapidly evolving society. The distribution of properties and wealth, particularly the decision to allocate some assets to public causes, resonated with many. It showcased the Queen's commitment to serving the people and ensuring that her legacy extended beyond the royal family. However, the selective allocation of personal items and heirlooms raised eyebrows, with some questioning whether these choices would deepen existing divisions within the monarchy. Speculation about family dynamics only added fuel to the fire. The perceived favoritism toward certain members, such as William and Catherine, became a topic of public discourse. Was this a deliberate move to secure the monarchy's future through its most popular figures, or did it expose underlying tensions within the family? Despite the controversy, the Queen's legacy remained intact. Her will was more than a legal document, it was a reflection of her wisdom, foresight, and deep understanding of her role as a leader. By addressing both the internal dynamics of her family and the broader perception of the monarchy, she ensured that her influence would endure long after her passing. As the dust settled, one question lingered. Would the royal family embrace the Queen's vision and move forward as a united front, or would the divisions exposed by her will lead to further challenges? The answer, like the monarchy itself, remained uncertain, poised between tradition and transformation.